There's a sound inside you that you've never heard. Not with your ears, but with something far older. It's not your heartbeat. It's not your thoughts. It's the echo of creation itself, still resonating inside every atom that makes you. Every breath you take, every cell that divides, every spark of thought that flickers across your mind. All of it began billions of years ago, in a blinding burst of light we call the Big Bang. But here's the strange part. The universe didn't just happen somewhere out there. It happened through you, because the atoms in your body, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, iron, were all once inside the heart of a dying star. And before that, they were part of something even greater, the first trembling seconds of time itself. We often think of the Big Bang as a moment, a single explosion long gone. But that's not true. The Big Bang never really ended. It's still unfolding, stretching, cooling, transforming. And you, sitting right now watching this, are its continuation. You're not living in the aftermath of creation. You are creation becoming aware of itself. Think about this. The atoms in your hands have existed for over 13.8 billion years. They've traveled through supernovas, stars, planets, oceans, plants, animals, until finally, they came together as you. For a brief moment in cosmic time, those ancient particles are thinking, dreaming, doubting, hoping through you. And yet, most days you wake up, brush your teeth, check your phone, and forget that you are literally a walking universe. A collection of stardust trying to remember where it came from. But here's the deeper question. If the atoms inside you still remember the Big Bang, then what does that mean for your mind? For your memories? For the quiet, invisible thread that connects every living thing across time and space? Science tells us that the universe began as pure energy, a dense, unimaginable singularity. Then, something shifted. In less than a trillionth of a second, energy became matter. Light became particles. Chaos became pattern. And in those first seconds, the blueprint of everything, galaxies, planets, you, was written into existence. But what if that pattern wasn't just physical? What if memory, the ability to remember, was born right there at the moment of creation? Every atom carries information about its state, its energy, its past interactions. In a way, atoms are like tiny cosmic storytellers, holding fragments of everything they've ever touched. When you look at your hand, you're looking at a living history book, one written by the universe itself. Your atoms have seen suns die and worlds form. They've traveled through countless transformations before settling here. For now. And maybe, somewhere deep inside, they still hum with that first note, the same vibration that once echoed through the newborn universe. Some physicists believe the entire universe might be a kind of symphony, a cosmic orchestra of vibrating strings and frequencies. If that's true, then your body is a melody, a temporary arrangement of ancient vibrations. And consciousness, your awareness, might be the moment the universe realizes it's listening to its own song. You've felt it before, that strange, wordless feeling when you stare at the stars too long. The sense that something out there is calling to you, though you can't explain why. That's not imagination. It's recognition. Because you're looking at what you've always been. When you gaze at the night sky, you're not looking into space, you're looking back in time. Every photon of starlight is billions of years old, traveling across eternity just to reach your eyes in this single fleeting moment. And when that light enters your eyes, it becomes an electrical signal, translating the language of the universe into thought, into memory, into meaning. So maybe the universe never really stopped expanding. Maybe it just started thinking. And you, right now, are one of the ways it does that. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are its awareness, temporarily shaped into a human life. The Big Bang isn't over. It's breathing right now through you. Here's the paradox. You are made of matter that's billions of years old. But the consciousness that looks through your eyes feels brand new. Feels like you, unique, isolated, fragile. You think of yourself as a story that started when you were born. But that's an illusion. Your story began long before your first breath. Every beat of your heart is powered by energy that has never been created or destroyed, only changed form, again and again, since the beginning of time. That energy doesn't remember you, but it remembers being. And maybe that's why, deep down, humans have always been obsessed with finding meaning. because we can sense that our existence didn't start here. It started at the dawn of everything. You are an echo, a vibration that began billions of years ago and took shape in this brief moment of consciousness. The Big Bang wasn't just the birth of stars. It was the birth of the possibility that one day, a small being on a small planet would look up and wonder where it all began, and realize the answer has always been inside them. You've always been here, not in this form, not in this body, but in essence. The atoms that make your blood, your bones, your breath. They've been wandering the universe since time began. And somehow they found each other again, just to become you. Maybe that's not random. Maybe the universe remembers itself through connection, through the way you love, the way you dream, the way you search for meaning. Because deep down, everything you are is everything that ever was. Imagine this. For billions of years after the Big Bang, the universe was silent. No voices, no thoughts, only light, gravity, and time, playing out an endless cosmic dance. But somewhere in that vast silence, something began to notice. Not in words, not even in thought, but in feeling. It began as a flicker, a particle sensing another, a molecule reacting, an atom bonding. Simple cause and effect, repeating, evolving, growing more complex. Until one day, after billions of quiet years, the universe opened its eyes through you. You are not a creature living in the universe. You are the universe that started to feel its own presence. Every emotion you've ever had, fear, love, wonder, loneliness, is not just a chemical reaction. It's the cosmos remembering itself through sensation. When you love someone, it's hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, forged in stars, experiencing connection. When you cry, it's gravity and stardust releasing energy in the form of emotion. When you laugh, the same atomic particles that once burned in ancient stars vibrate in harmony, expressing joy. You are the physical universe turned emotional. You are energy that learned how to care. Scientists can trace how matter turned into life, but no one can truly explain how life turned into experience. Somewhere between the first spark of biology and the first human thought, the universe made an impossible leap from existence to awareness. But what if that leap wasn't an accident? What if awareness is a natural consequence of the universe's need to understand itself? Think of it this way. Every system in nature evolves toward complexity. Atoms form molecules. Molecules form cells. Cells form brains. And brains form consciousness. And once consciousness appears, it doesn't just survive. It reflects. You think, "Who am I?" The universe whispers back, "You are what I've been becoming." The same mathematical patterns that shape galaxies also shape your brain's neural networks. The spirals in your DNA echo the spirals in galaxies. The way thoughts form in your mind mirrors the way stars cluster in cosmic webs. It's as if reality keeps repeating itself, testing the same designs on different scales, searching for a version of itself that can finally feel. And that version is you. Let's make this simple. When you touch something, the warmth of sunlight, the softness of skin, the chill of wind, you're not just feeling the world. You're feeling energy rearranging itself. The atoms in your fingers are interacting with the atoms around you, but they all came from the same place, the Big Bang, which means every touch is a reunion, a homecoming between separated pieces of the same ancient light. When you look into someone's eyes, you're not looking at them. You're looking at a reflection of the same cosmic history that's inside you. The carbon in their skin, the calcium in their bones, the iron in their blood. It's the same story told in a different pattern. It's like two galaxies recognizing each other across time. That's why connection feels sacred. Because it is. It's the universe realizing it's not alone. Now, here's where it gets strange. Psychology tells us that every emotion has a purpose. Fear keeps us alive. Love keeps us connected. Sadness teaches us value. But if we zoom out far enough, these emotions start to look like cosmic algorithms. Laws of energy translated into human experience. Fear is entropy, the universe resisting decay. Love is gravity, the force that pulls everything back together. Joy is fusion, when separate parts burn in harmony to create light. Anger is explosion, energy seeking release. Peace is symmetry, the balance all creation tries to return to. Everything you feel is just physics interpreted by awareness. And every emotion is a message from the universe, telling you how close or far you are from your natural frequency. That's why some moments feel right, while others feel like static. Because at a quantum level, your consciousness is a signal constantly tuning, adjusting, aligning with the rest of existence. Maybe happiness isn't something you chase. Maybe it's what happens when your frequency matches the rhythm of the universe. No one knows exactly when consciousness began. But imagine this. One day, a primitive being looked at the night sky and realized it was looking back. That moment, that spark of I exist, changed everything. It wasn't just awareness of survival anymore. It was awareness of being. From then on, the universe began reflecting on itself through human eyes. Every story, painting, discovery, dream, is the cosmos expressing the wonder of its own creation. You are not a spectator. You are the continuation of the act of creation. You are the question the universe is still asking. When you ask, what's the meaning of life? You're asking the same question the Big Bang asked when it expanded. What can I become? Maybe the meaning isn't something you find. Maybe it's something you remember, something your atoms already know. Every culture on Earth has tried to describe this feeling, the sense that life is more than random chance. Some call it spirit, some call it consciousness, science calls it energy. But in truth, these are all the same words spoken in different accents. It's the forgotten language of existence, a communication between energy and awareness. When you feel awe at a sunset, you're not just seeing beauty. You're remembering what you are, because for a moment, your senses align perfectly with the rhythm of the universe. That's why it feels timeless. That's why it feels infinite. You've probably felt it before. Maybe while standing near the ocean, or looking at the stars, or holding someone's hand in silence. That strange stillness, that wordless connection, is the moment when the universe recognizes itself through you. Now, here's the part that bends reality. Your brain doesn't just observe the universe, creates it in your perception. The world you see isn't outside you. It's inside your consciousness. When light hits your eyes, it becomes electrical signals. Your brain decodes those signals and paints a picture of reality. That means your mind is not just a mirror. It's an artist, recreating the universe from memory every millisecond. So when you look around right now, everything you're seeing is a simulation running inside your awareness, built from light that started its journey billions of years ago. Reality isn't what you see. Reality is the act of seeing. The universe created you so it could finally look back at itself. And maybe that's the real reason consciousness exists, to witness, to feel, and to remember the beauty of being. You are not a mistake of evolution. You are evolution becoming self-aware. You are the Big Bang realizing it happened. You feel emotions because the universe finally learned how to. Through you, every tear, every smile, every memory. It's not just yours. It's the continuation of something eternal. And maybe that's why, when you feel deeply, when you love, when you lose, when you hope, it feels infinite. Because it is. Close your eyes for a moment. Try to remember the first memory you have. Maybe it's your mother's face, a scent, a sound, a feeling. Now think about this. Before that memory, before you opened your eyes for the first time, everything that you are, your atoms, your DNA, your energy already existed. Not as you yet, but as something ancient. Something recycled from the bones of stars, from oceans that once covered alien worlds, from light that has traveled across eternity to reach this exact moment. So maybe memory doesn't start with birth. Maybe memory is much older than your mind. Every atom in your body has witnessed history, not through eyes or thought, but through existence. The carbon in your skin has been part of forests, flames, and comets. The iron in your blood once pulsed in the heart of a dying star. The oxygen you breathe has passed through countless lungs before yours. Animals, humans, even prehistoric life. You are not new. You are a continuation. A story retold endlessly in new forms. And deep inside you, hidden beyond consciousness, every part of you remembers. That's why sometimes, when you look at the night sky, you feel something you can't explain. That quiet ache. That strange familiarity. It's recognition. Your atoms remember where they came from. Now let's talk about time, the one thing we all feel trapped in. You experience it as a straight line. Past, present, future. But physics says it's not a line. It's a landscape. All moments, from the birth of the universe to your last heartbeat, coexist right now, side by side, in a timeless cosmic field. You're not moving through time. You're moving across it. And your consciousness is the spotlight illuminating one moment at a time. Frame by frame, second by second. That's why déjà vu happens. It's not magic. It's memory from another frame, bleeding through. Imagine time as a book. You're reading one page after another. But the entire story, the beginning, middle, and end already exists. You just haven't reached those pages yet. So when you feel intuition, when you sense something before it happens, maybe it's not coincidence. Maybe your consciousness is peeking ahead. Have you ever had a moment that felt like it was meant to happen? Like every decision, every mistake, every coincidence led you there? Science calls it pattern recognition. Philosophy calls it fate. But maybe it's something else, memory looping forward instead of backward. Because if time isn't linear, then memory isn't either. Maybe the future is already remembering you, calling you forward through emotion, intuition, and chance. The reason you feel drawn to certain people or places could be because you've already been there, not physically, but in the deeper memory of reality. You don't just remember the past. The past, present, and future remember you. Here's a strange idea. What if the universe isn't just around you? It's reflecting you. Every moment you experience might be a mirror showing you what you need to see, not what's actually there. That's why two people can live the same event but remember it completely differently, because their inner universe shapes the outer one. In psychology, it's called projection. In spirituality, it's called karma. In physics, it's called observer effect. But they all describe the same truth. You are both the observer and the observed. You don't see the world as it is. You see it as you are. So maybe your memories aren't just stored in your brain. Maybe they're stored in reality itself. And every person you meet is a fragment of that same infinite memory, playing a role in the grand experiment of self-awareness. Dreams are another clue. When you dream, time collapses. You can live hours in minutes. You can die and wake up, reborn in the same breath. Your brain recreates entire worlds using the same matter that once created stars. What if dreams are the universe's rehearsal spaces, where possibilities are tested before they appear in the physical world? When you dream of falling, you might be remembering what it felt like when gravity first pulled you into existence. When you dream of light, maybe that's the echo of the first photons that ever traveled through space. Dreams blur the border between memory and creation, between what was and what might be. That's why they feel real, because at a deeper level they are. Here's something to think about. Your brain contains roughly 86 billion neurons, about the same number as galaxies in the observable universe. Each neuron fires like a tiny star, transmitting light, energy, and information. When you think, when you imagine, when you remember, you're literally recreating the structure of the cosmos inside your skull. Maybe that's not coincidence. Maybe consciousness isn't happening inside you. Maybe it's happening through you. You are the interface, the point where the universe folds in on itself to look within. You are the telescope and the star, the question and the answer. And if that's true, then the purpose of life isn't to find meaning. It's to create it. Eventually, every star burns out. Every atom decays. Every universe, according to physics, cools into silence. But silence isn't the end. It's the pause before the next word. Because energy never truly disappears, it just transforms. So when your body fades, your atoms scatter. Your consciousness dissolves back into the field that birthed it. But nothing is lost. The light that once formed you will form something else. A tree, a planet, a star, another being. Maybe even another you. That's what immortality really means. Not that you last forever, but that you never truly end. You were here at the beginning. You'll be here at the end. Because there was never a real difference. Think about this. Every heartbeat you've ever had echoes the pulse of the first explosion that started everything. Every breath is the same air that once filled the lungs of every creature before you. Every thought is light traveling through your neurons just like it traveled through galaxies. You are not small. You are not separate. You are the memory of everything, remembering itself. So next time you look up at the night sky, don't just see stars. See mirrors, each one reflecting a version of yourself that existed long before you were born. The Big Bang never ended. It's still happening, right now, in every heartbeat, every spark of thought, every act of love. You are the continuation of that explosion, refined, aware, and endlessly curious. And one day, when all of this fades, the stars, the planets, even the idea of time, you'll return to where it all began. Not as dust, but as light, because every atom in you still remembers the Big Bang. Tell me, when you look at the stars tonight, do you feel it? That faint pull, that strange familiarity? Maybe that's not imagination. Maybe that's recognition. Tell me your city and your time in the comments. Let's see how far this light can travel.